And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. Luol Deng is checked in for Joe Johnson. Monroe on the double team. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And Hassan Whiteside of Miami had the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged it. Here for Milwaukee. John Henson's checked in for Monroe. Miles Plumlee comes in for Jabari Parker. Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Jared Bayless subbed in for O.J. Mayo. Then for the Heat, Amare Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Richardson comes in for Dwayne Wade. And Moore subbed in for Goran Dragic. Just 5 to shoot. Deng attacking. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
And talking about Whiteside, he isn't completely out of the woods yet. I mean, after a couple of ejections last season, his teammates publicly condemned his actions. They questioned his maturity, challenged him to be more reliable, and for the most part, he was after those incidents.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Nets came through when they needed him to. He had 6 points and played some lockdown defense as well, causing havoc on both ends of the floor. A performance like this was just the trick his team needed to snap their losing streak.
All right, Doris. Well, what do you guys think? Does that kind of big performance energize a player in his next game?
Guys, it's tricky, you know, because when you work as hard as he did in that game, you tend to be a little worn down. But on the other hand, he also has to be feeling terrific in terms of the confidence about the state of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I'd say mentally he's in peak condition, while physically he could probably use a recharge.
Freak sets a screen for Johnson. Off the screen. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And you know, the thing about Whiteside, guys, when he's right, he's an unbelievable game changer. Second in the league in blocked shots last season. Also posted the second best field goal percentage. The guy can play if he keeps his head squarely on his neck.
And in college, guys, Miles Plumlee had an unusual competitor at his position. It was his younger brother, Mason. I mean, they actually had to compete against one another for playing time.
And it's tied up with that one. Well, Greg, going back to those Plumlee brothers you were talking about, there is competition. And then, Clark, you know, there's this friendly rivalry that'll always exist.
Yeah, the brotherly competition, if you will. They have similar bodies and share some of the same attributes as well. Drafted in back-to-back years, both toward the end of the first round. A lot of parallels.
A lot of similarities, you're right. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. And it's going to be a 3-second call. And as always, the mid part of the NBA season, quite a grueling part of the schedule. Right now, let's check out how the standings are shaping up in the East. Taking a look at Miami. Right now, they've compiled the 3rd best record in the conference. And, of course, there's the Bucks. They have a lot of ground to make up.
And seeing where the Bucks are, they weren't part of the discussion of teams on the rise as we came into the year. And now, quite frankly, we know why. If anything, they've taken a step back.
Yeah, and that's got to be terribly discouraging for them. I mean, I know how badly they wanted to contend for a playoff spot, but it's just not happening.
And it's Carter Williams in the corner. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Moore, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Milwaukee gets called for the foul. This is his first free throw of the game.
Freak. Taking 2 shots.
The first one falls. That one falls, so he hits both of them. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Carter Williams. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's going to be on Freak. The Bucks have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
And the second free throw, good. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Heat lead by 3. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm here with Coach Spoelstra. And, Coach, how do you rate the team's defensive performance to this point?
We're playing our normal defense, which is to be aggressive, disruptive. And for the most part, we've been able to cover ground except for the fouls at the basket.
Coach, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thanks so much, Doris. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close. And now, your Milwaukee.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Chris Bosh in this game. I mean, he's been... John Henson's checked in for Monroe. Miles Plumlee comes in for Antetokounmpo. Chris Middleton's checked in for O.J. Mayo. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Michael Carter Williams. Then for the Heat, Amari Stoudemire. He's checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Luol Deng. And Moore subbed in for Goran Dragic. On the court for the Heat, Moore in at point guard. Stoudemire out there with Chris Bosh. Then there's Johnson. And it's Wade in at the 2 guard.
Yeah, you've got to make sure your feet are set when you set those screens, or they're going to call that on you.
Well, I thought maybe he was set. I know that's a difficult call to make, but I think they might have missed that one.
And the Heat making a change here. Richardson's checked in, and the pass to Parker. Henson with the screen. And Bayless kicks to Henson. He used that pick to get in close. Henson's got 6.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
For Bayless, it was his 6th team in 7 years last season. A good utility combo guard to have. He can score, he can make plays for others. He's really defined his role in this league.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
And boy, how good was Chris Middleton last season? I mean, always a deep shooter who could stretch the floor. He hits the weight room in the offseason and became a much stronger defender. Now, he's one of the more promising 3-and-D guys in the league.
Tipped away. And now Moore pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Trips down the breakaway slam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Bayless's shot is off. And for Chris Middleton last season, he went up in points, assists, rebounds, but went down in turnovers.
Boy, what an improvement for this young man. A late bloomer. I liked him when he was at Texas A&M, still growing into his body, playing with great confidence, and he can spray that thing from 3. I like his promise.
4 on the shot clock. From about 16, and that is good. Middleton's got the lead up to 7 now for the Bucks.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Here's Moore. The rebound by the Bucks.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
The points coming in bunches. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jared Bayless subbed in for Carter Williams. And then for Miami, Wash comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And Moore subbed in for Dwayne Wade. Parker and Henson are at the forward slots. Chris Middleton is out there with Jared Bayless. And it's Monroe in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks.
We could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now nerves and tightness become a factor.
And it's becoming a battle of will right now. This is as good a game as we could have hoped for. And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Miami.
And you really can't help but notice all the points they've continued to get off turnovers.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. Carter Williams comes in for Jared Bayless. And it's Dragic off the drive. Here's Whiteside. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Antetokounmpo.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 has put him in a rough, tough spot.
Shooting for Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Well, I mean, a semi-productive trip to the free throw line, but we'll see whether or not it costs him.
And Moore kicks the dang. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
There's 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And Middleton kicks to Carter Williams. And it's Middleton penetrating, and that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
And here is Moore. To halt the run, some solid defense from Antetokounmpo, and he commits the intentional foul.
You look at what Middleton has done so far. 10 points and 2 steals. He's showing us those quick hands today, both when he has the ball and when he doesn't.
Clark, you love the fact that he's a terrific distributor, but also, how about those defensive instincts? That's also been excellent today.
So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
No mistakes there. Good free throws to give them just a little bit more cushion.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Middleton against Moore. A 3-ball. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
Not good shot selection. Long range and the defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. "16 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Leases one from 3.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on him with the triple.
At the line for your Bucks, Jared Bayless.
Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 7-point game. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Miami no good on that time either. And there's the feed to Bayless. So it's Milwaukee picking up the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but...
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe was doing what he does best. He produced a massive game for them in locking down this win. The thing I like about him most is that a coach can use him in multiple ways. You can play him at power forward or center.
That's right, Ernie. Instruments. This guy was instrumental tonight in making sure they avoided a second straight loss.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, 2K Sports Crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.
As I was saying, got a real big problem, all this kiddie stuff. Your evil twins, CC and Dom, got you doing Vet, what was that word he was using?
Rebrand?
No. Recalibrate. All this stuff they got you doing to recalibrate your image is cost you in the hood, fam. Yo, the streets is watching, and they're not convinced.
Vic, how many times do I have to tell you? The streets ain't always right.
Nah. It's always good in the hood. Let's not forget, I am a student of human nature, all right? Take your man here. He's playing this here video game is to not address the reason why his brand Jordan sneakers are sitting on...
Some people say you just a hanger-on, that you're a leech. Why is that the word?
Yo, because people just don't know,
They be hating?
They be hating. They hating on my game. They hating on our friendship.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Here we go. Last game for the Warriors. They pick up the W against the Hawks. And what really made that outcome a surprise was how Warriors leading by 4. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Stolen by Bosch. Johnson outside. Kicks to Bosch. Wade against Barnes. Back to Bosch. Fires the 3. Thompson with the rebound. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And, of course, Chris Bosch has been such a prolific scorer and rebounder in his career. He's not quite in the 2010 category for his career. But, boy, Greg, he's close.
Yeah, I mean, good athleticism, that big wingspan, and not an overly physical player, but very instinctive on the backboard. And when it comes to scoring, particularly from that mid-range area, he can do it all.
And good on the basket. Book it. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first quarter. Here is Livingston. He's guarded by Moore. Used the screen and took it all the way.
Explosive leaping ability.
Oh, that was pretty. And he just has that, Clark, that effortless knack for getting inside.
And guys, how about how fearsome he is at times? I mean, you'd hate to be the guy tasked with guarding him.
And it's good.
I don't think they come much easier than that look.
Warriors leading by 5. 1:10 left to play in the first quarter. Green, no luck.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Moore with it. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Johnson off the pick from Moore. Off the pick. And Joe Johnson again. Johnson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And it's Moore penetrating. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
That's right. And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Richardson comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Johnson in for Dwayne Wade. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that. Could you?
He probably just thrown on as a broadcaster and would rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
No. Good. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor. I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably the
new group on the floor. Different look here for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Green comes in for Maurice Spates. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Thompson in for Sean Livingston. Moment here now for an injury report.
He told me that it doesn't look too serious.
Thank you, Doris. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
And almost for every player, it's inevitable. I mean, injuries are going to happen no matter how well you take care of yourself.
And let's just hope the rehab process doesn't drag on any longer than it has to.
Moore in at shooting guard. Stoudemire out there with Chris Bosh. Then there's Dwayne Wade. And it's Dragic in at the point guard position. That's the group on the floor for Miami. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers gave them a huge boost. He picked up 5 points, and he was just about on target from everywhere, hitting from deep as well as sinking his free throws. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by his standards, guys.
And how about the high standards he has for himself? Really did have it all working for him in that game.
Anxious to see what's in his mind for an encore today. I mean, it'd be awfully difficult to top that last game.
The drive by Wade, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wade. Dwayne Wade continues, Clark, to change his game as he gets older. I admire the way guys can do that. Their head says one thing, but their body kind of tells them another.
And you have to give in to your body as you age, that's for sure. Used to attack the rim all the time. Now it's mid-range jumper heavy.
The screen from Thompson. Over in the corner, Barnes drills the three-pointer. Barnes has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
And it's Wade in the corner. Fades and shoots. The Warriors pull it in.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that. Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Heat?
You've got to like the consistency with which they're hitting that mid-range jumper.
Another thing they've been able to really get going so far tonight has been the 3-ball, the long-range shooting.
Here's Curry. He had 31 points in the win against Atlanta. That gives them the lead. 9 points for Klay Thompson.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Outside Dragic. Here's the screen. The drive by Bosh. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Bosh has got 7.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
For Miami, they've gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Move the ball. Sticking too much.
Curry against Dragic. He kicks it to Stoudemire. The 11-footer. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play. And he's got his first chance at the line here.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Yeah, it wasn't his best performance at all from the stripe. He's got to put it behind him, and I know he'd like to immediate. And, fellas, I think you have to like his improvements over his free throw numbers from a year ago. It's not a significant number or a huge amount, but it's improvement nonetheless.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Heat lead by 3. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. Tell us a bit about the philosophy behind your game and how this team works so well together.
Yeah, I was trying to...
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
tremendous output from Iguodala. He's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm.
And the Warriors with some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Setting the floor for the Warriors. Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3. Draymond Green is out there with Maurice Spates. And it's Livingston in at the point guard. Richardson kicks to Johnson. Pass to Moore. The shot misses. Great D that time from Green.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
It's been brutal in terms of the physicality down low. How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
And how about Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon? I mean, he was a high school phenom in Ames, Iowa, and a lottery pick back in 2012 after 2 seasons at Carolina. Remember also in high school, he was a teammate of Dougie McBuckets. And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Livingston dishes to Thompson. Shot from 12. Great D that time from Moore. Harrison Barnes, of course, went to North Carolina, grew up as a huge fan of former Tar Heel Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you know, interesting, his mother started taping Jordan's games on the VCR years before he was born. His given name, Harrison Bryson Jordan Barnes. How about that for a factoid?
I didn't know that.
Nor did I.
Johnson, the pass to Johnson. Nailed from three-point land. Johnson's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the 3rd for Miami. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Heat.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Richardson kicks to Johnson. Moore dishes to Johnson. Clock at 4. Here's the floater. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
Well, that's simply a great move there, Kevin. He dusted off the defense and got to the cup for the easy basket.
Here is Livingston. And right now he's averaging about 7 points a game. Green, the screen. Livingston passes to Thompson. The 19-foot shot. No good. And the game still closely contested as we end the 3rd quarter. Miami ahead, up by 3. And 4th quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this.
Boys. Yeah. Hold on. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Boys.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. 4th quarter should be good. A different look for Miami. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. And Moore subbed in for Dwayne Wade. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Golden State. Dang and Bosch, your small and power forwards. Dragic is out there with Freak, and it's Stoudemire in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor for Miami. 5 to shoot. Dang against Barnes. Dang can't get it to go.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Dragic off the pick from Moore. Dragic kicks to Stoudemire, and that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. And the Heat lead by 8.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Give it up for your Heat Dancer.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Steve Kerr was just going over the plan with his team. They've been getting torched with all these shots from long range, and he simply said, we can't lose track of their shooters, guys. We're over-helping inside, and it's leaving them wide open. Can they make the adjustment, guys?
It's Curry with the drive, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Been a really good night for Steph Curry. He has 9 rebounds, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Dragic kicks to Dang. Out left to the wing. Bosh going around him, and it's Miami with another.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
Up top, Curry. He's guarded by Dragic, and the shot is good. And that's 15 points for Steph Curry.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Now the pass to Thompson. Off target from three-point range.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Thompson against Dang. Back to Dragic. The three. The shot is off, and Golden State will go the other way with it. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Thompson. And the rejection by Stoudemire. And here's Dragic. We got 22 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Bosh kicks to Moore. Clock at 6. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Curry dishes to Thompson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's going to be on Freak.
Shooting for Miami, Klay Thompson. At the line for 2.
He hits the first one, and that brings them within 8. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. And so it's Miami winning this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Good win.
Yes, guys, I'm here.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quit Goran Dragic.
What a tremendous game for Dragic. This guy is a fantastic point guard. Whenever he's on the floor, the offense just flows so well. He can penetrate, he can start the break, he can score, and the thing he does.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.
Yo, Freak, what's up, baby? What's up? We see you.
Yo. What up?
Basquiat.
I never had this feeling with any other woman in my life. And she gave me a different feeling, which was something.
Tough matchup tonight. We could very well end up facing these guys in the postseason. So it's important to learn what we can and show them we're not about to back down. If we get it done here, it'll give us that much more confidence if we see them again. The stakes are raising every day at this point, so I better man up.
Nighttime always fun here in Miami as we see an overview of the city. It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the American Airlines Arena look to cheer on the hometown Heat. For the Cavaliers, this is the last game before heading back to Cleveland. And with the top record in the East, well, there's no doubt that this is a top caliber team.
And really no surprise here, guys, at all to find them among the elite teams in their conference. And moreover, I'd say this is a team with a legitimate chance to win it all.
I'm with you there. That's a safe bet. I mean, they played angry this year with an edge. Really.
And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off a good outing against Orlando.
And they may have been on the road, but you know what? They nullified any home court disadvantage in that game by how well they shot it from three.
Shooting can always be a great equalizer. I mean, when you shoot like that from outside, it really makes winning on the road a lot easier.
Just 4 to shoot. That puts them in the lead. Love's got his first points in this one. Well, and watching Kevin Love, he can do everything on the offensive end, Clark. He's been that way really his entire career, going back to high school.
Yeah, his game is low to the ground, too. No explosive moves or dunks. He takes you on and beats you with skill. Good footwork, smooth shot, sharp passer, and an excellent IQ.
Passes it to Johnson. There's the three. The Heat rebound. Cleveland's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range in the first quarter. Here's Jefferson. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Jefferson's got his first 2 points of the night.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on D.
Moore. Shumpert with some nice D. Cleveland leading by 4. Mozgov a screen on Johnson. Inside. Mozgov's shot is off.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Here's Bosch. Miami no good on that time either. And here are the Cavaliers. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul in for your Heat, Josh Richardson.
19 seconds left in the first. Dellavedova dishes to Love. It's a pick by Love. The feed to Mozgov. The shot is off. Johnson. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Cavaliers lead by 4. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when... And LeBron James trying to will his Cavaliers team to its first title. Teammate Kevin Love says LeBron made it clear from the start what he expected. And when someone like LeBron talks about what you need to bring to the table, you better bring it. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Wash comes in for Johnson. Wayne Wade's checked in for Richardson. And Moore subbed in for Goran Dragic. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Love comes in for James. Iman Shumpert is checked in for Richard Jefferson. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for J.R. Smith. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. Stoudemire out there with Chris Bosh. And it's Moore in at the 1 spot. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Hornets really had a hard time. He ended with 7 points and he made them pay for their fouls, putting up a good amount of his totals from the line. This has been a concern of his and the coaching staff lately, as he's hit a very rough patch and will be looking to turn things around in this one. Let's see if he does it, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And just not the game he hoped to have, guys.
And I know he felt like he let his team down with that performance, and I'm betting he comes out here tonight with a lot of extra motivation.
Absolutely. The competitor in him is going to lead to playing with a chip on his shoulder. You can count on that.
Here's Johnson. Second chance shot. Count that one.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Moore with the steal. Wade against Irving. Wade kicks to Johnson. Outside Bosh. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Now just a 2-point Cavalier lead.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the 3.
Irving attacking. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
He got off to a slow start. It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game. But he's turned it on here in the second.
Bosh, a screen on Shumpert. They set the pick. Wade passes to Bosh. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and 1.
Miami shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement. So that's some positive momentum they can look to build on. We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Here's Dellavedova, defended by Moore. Here's Mozgov. Offensive rebound. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And And so far this season, it's been average at best at the line, only 71% as a shooter.
You know, his free throw percentage has dropped this year, but not really enough to raise any red flags or become alarmed about it.
Well, we know that Mozgov started last season with the Nuggets and then was traded to Cleveland midway through the season.
And what an impact he made on the Cleveland Cavaliers, particularly at the defensive end. His size and his activity really helped the Cavs become outstanding at the defensive end.
Johnson against Irving. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Moore outside. 1 second left. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Cavaliers on top, up by 4. And a chance.
Kevin, I'm here with Eric
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first. The Heat. Amari Stoudemire. He's checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. Richardson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Moore subbed in for Goran Dragic. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Jefferson comes in for Kevin Love. Iman Shumpert is checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, Matthew Dellavedova is out there with Iman Shumpert. Then it's Jefferson. Then it's Mozgov. And it's James in at the 4 spot. The Heat making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Both good from the line that time. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Dellavedova dishes to James. Lets a floater go. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Richardson with a screen for Johnson.
Move the ball and stick it to the
Stoudemire left side. From the left block, he sends it through. Stoudemire's got the lead up to 2 now for the Heat.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
James kicks to Dellavedova. Back to James for the lead. No good. Now the Heat take it the other way. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, they were in a funk from the field in that game. Credit the defense, though, because even when they got open looks, no rhythm to knock them down.
Hey, guys. Hey, every team has a night like that on occasion. It happens. Heck, we call them gong games. You just want to hit the gong, forget about them, and move on.
Kevin Love's checked in for Richard Jefferson. Mozgov a screen on Johnson. Here's Dellavedova. He dishes it to Mozgov. Dellavedova kicks to James. Feeds it to Dellavedova. Just 5 to shoot. Picked by Mozgov. The 15-footer. Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Dellavedova.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick-fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim. They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Miami.
Guys, they've done a nice job of drawing countless fouls in this game, and as a result, they've gotten a ton of points at the line.
Couple that with just how well they've shot it from beyond, and they've made this thing look easy.
He kicks to Mozgov. Here's Love, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent him, GA, from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks, and it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Chris Bosh is checked in for Miami. Johnson against LeBron. Johnson outside. Stoudemire with a screen on James. And the shot is good from Johnson.
Boy, Stoudemire doing a nice job setting that screen. Very nice.
Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Wait. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Shumpert's checked in. The Cavaliers trail by 11. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Freak is out there with Dragic. And it's Dang in at the 3. That's the group on the 4 for Miami. Dragic against Irving. Back to LeBron. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, and at least as I look at it.
And you can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
The Cavaliers making a switch here. Love's checked in. Dang against James. Dang double teamed. Kicks to Moore. To the middle. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Hassan Whiteside. 2.
That free throw missing. That one is no good.
Remember, for a long time, flopping was like the #1 concern in the NBA. I mean, it still happens a lot, but the rules have curbed it quite a bit. We have seen less and less flopping the last few years.
Rockets the pass to Whiteside. Here's Moore. No good off the front iron.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Some doubted how the flopping fines would have worked. Overall, there have been less egregious flops for the better in the NBA.
Yeah, and there will always be room for embellishment, but I like the fines because it really does minimize the number of extravagant flops. Guys have adjusted and they're not laying down as much as they used to. He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Irving dishes to LeBron. Unloads from 13. Good on the shot. LeBron's got 10 points here in the second half.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Here's Dang, and that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dang's got the lead up to 11 now for the Heat.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for Miami.
Clark, free throws were a big factor in this one.
Yeah, you know what? It's great to get to the line, Kevin, but the other half of that is you got to convert, and they did that.
And so they'll be advancing their win total to 42 games.
And bragging rights between these teams were on the line today, and they put in some very good work to earn it.
Sure did. I mean, this means they'll come out on top in the season series, 2-1 now. Got to be happy about that.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Dang. Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
Moore against Irving. No good from Moore. Guys, a comeback probably not in the cards at this point.
Yeah, unless something dramatic and drastic occurs.
Yeah, I think you can put a fork in it.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. For 3, Love. Bosch grabs the miss. Outside Dragic. Freak sets a screen for Dragic. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
Well, Joe, congratulations.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation. Luol Deng.
Luol Deng is one of the most consistent players in the league in the last 5 or 6 years.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a
Yeah, send him in. Cece.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you again.
My pleasure.
Freak. Great game last night.
That's what I do, right?
Indeed. Have a seat. Pagnotti.
How you doing?
Thought you'd be selling used cars by now.
Funny, comedian. I thought you would have invested in some new clothes, being a team owner and all. I see you still rocking that Goodwill look.
Freak, what are you hanging around with this guy for? You know he's bad company, right?
Got no choice. He helps me pay the bills. Plus, our mother loves him.
Thank you all for coming by on such short notice. So you know why we're here, right?
Not really.
You want to negotiate an extension for Freak, right?
Well, since you mentioned it, your client is quickly becoming a liability for this organization.
We've already put a plan in place that's going to address all your concerns and issues.
Let me finish. Thank you. Myself, the front office, and the coaches are not satisfied with the adjustments you've made in your life off the court. I personally warned you about the company you keep, and we're fed up with the late nights and showing up late to shoot-arounds and the bad press and the incident at the nightclub. I told you Vic was going to be your downfall, and I was right. Something has to change now, or we're not going to need your services any longer.
If this is about that Twitter stuff, Vic was playing. Okay, it was a joke.
It's not about that. It's everything.
But like I told you before, Vic is my best friend. I can't just cut him off. He's practically family.
Not really.
What exactly are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything, Dom. I'm saying it. Freak and his friend Vic are a problem for me and this organization. And I called you in here to figure out how we all together can fix this problem. And right now, I'm only seeing one solution.
I agree that Freak may need to make some adjustments in his personal life off the court, but that's a learning process. We both know that. But this almost sounds like a threat. And Dom Pagnotti doesn't take too kindly to threats. Is this a threat?
Call it what you will.
We all know that Vic is a problem. The only person who doesn't seem to realize that is my brother. I'm sorry, bro, but enough is enough.
I don't have a problem with what you're saying. I have a problem with how you're saying it. Now, I know we can come to some understanding without all the ultimatums or threats.
Can we all come to a understanding, a compromise?
No, no more compromises. I already warned Freak. I told you. Don't be a hero. Cut that zero. It's cut Vic loose, or we trade Freak. It's that simple.
Fine, we'll go sign with another team.
Good luck with that, Pagnotti. Because of Vic, Freak's reputation precedes him.
No, because of Freak's God-given talent, his reputation precedes him.
Everybody's been talking. Dom, you know how this works. This is not about you and me and our history. This is about your client. Help him.
You talking as if I'm invisible. You talking around me, about me, but not to me. Vic has always had my back. And I've given this team everything I got. I practice hard. I play hard. Yeah, some nights I got it, some nights I don't. Some days I might even show up a little late to shoot-arounds. But every time I'm on that court, I've always given my best. And I see how it is, though. I mean, us players got to be loyal to you, but you don't have to be loyal to us players. Try to give me some father and son talk, talking about how you love your players and how you look up for them. Come on, man. You trying to cut me off like you cut off Izzy. Don't you have people loyal to you no matter what? People you can't cut off? Well, that's me and Vic. Vic and me. Y'all insist, really. They could tell me stop hanging with Vic. What makes you think they won't tell me stop talking to you? You remember in 7th grade, some guys were trying to jump me over some girl. Vic was the one to get some friends just to walk me home. And when they came, we went at it, but I wasn't alone. When I got my scholarship, it was Vic who put the word on the streets that nobody should mess with me because I had a future. Vic was protecting me. And sir, I know Vic is crazy. But before all the hype and the lights, media, fans, it was just me and Vic. He's always been there. I mean, if y'all don't like that, I don't know what to say.
It hurts me to say this, but I see his point. What you don't understand is that the league doesn't have your back anymore. Not like they used to. They try, but it's too much. Social media has changed everything. And this last incident with Vic, that was the final straw.
It was a joke.
It wasn't funny. You know it wasn't a joke. Vic was defending you, stepping in to protect your honor by attacking another teammate like that? Talking about his manhood, his wife, his kids, his family, so you can be the big dog on the court? That's uncalled for.
And they all know your relationship with Vic, so they think it's coming from you.
But that's the media blowing everything out of proportion as usual.
It's not just the media. He's attacking other players, other teams. He's out of control. Vic just doesn't know how to behave.
We got guys on our squad who don't want to be here because of that beef. There is no place for that kind of inappropriate behavior in this league. If you can't trust your teammates, who can you trust?
What Vic is doing isn't right. He's bringing you down, and people can see it. I see how all the other players are looking at you. Oh, it's not cool. It's not cool at all.
What, don't talk to him? Don't hang with him?
You do what you got to do. That's your call. But let me tell you this. You asked me if I had friends that I couldn't cut off? Yeah, I did for a while. Friends, business partners, girlfriends, wives, family that I thought I couldn't cut off. But I learned that sometimes you got to make the hard decisions. I mean, some of these people, they were just bad for me. They were bringing me down. They weren't making me better. They were good for the time that they were there, but I grew up, not in age and maturity, but in mind and spirit. I was ready for the next level in my life. And I'll be honest with you, I've been on the receiving end of that. I've been cut off before myself, and yeah, it hurt at the time. But looking back, they were doing the right thing for me. Just don't tell my ex-wife that, Pagnotti.
So what's the next move?
The next move is Freaks. It always has been. Question is he ready and willing to do what needs to be done?
This is messed up.
You take a moment to think about it, but think long, think wrong. The snafu should have been cleaned up a long time ago. With or without you, we got games to win.
Freak, you gotta handle your business.
Okay, we've all said our piece. You might cut me off as your manager, but I will always be your sister. Twin, this is on you. I might not like it, but I will respect any decision you make. Yvette, please.
Cece.
Yvette.
Where's Dom?
I had him call you.
Why?
I'm gonna cut right to the chase. My brother is deeply in love with you. And I'm ready to put our differences aside if you are.
Really?
On a string.
I'm with it.
Team Freak.
Team Freak.
All right, so if you're gonna be down with the team, I gotta show you the dap.
The dap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go like this.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, shoot, swish.
Swish.
Yeah. Again.
Like Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, swish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like that.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
I gotta hold down the city.
This is it. The last game of my rookie season. Kind of hard to believe. These 82 games have gone by in a blur. I know we're on the outside looking in when it comes to playoffs, but that doesn't mean I can't go out and give it everything I have one last time. So here goes nothing.
Hello, everyone. Proud to bring you Wednesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. In the last meeting for these two teams, the Celtics came away with the win against Miami. And with that win, they evened up the season series at 1 apiece, giving them a chance to pull ahead right here.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you.
Boston. Kelly Olynyk checked in for Sullinger. Jay Crowder comes in for Amir Johnson. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Thomas. And then for Miami, Amare Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. And Moore is subbed in for Goran Dragic. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Moore, he's in at point guard. Dang out there with Stoudemire. Then there's Johnson. And it's Wade in at the shooting guard position. Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really like. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Olynyk can't hit.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Stoudemire setting the pick for Johnson. To the inside. Turner with the steal. Pass to Smart. Inside. Here's Olynyk. That's short off the rim.
And for Smart, though, he still has a lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from three was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
Turner against Johnson. Takes a shot at the elbow. Turner missing again.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
And Smart with a clear path to the hoop.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
And Moore kicks to Wade. Stoudemire with the ball. He's against Olynyk, and that one's good. Tang's got his second bucket of the night.
You know, you talk about Smart's lackluster field goal percentage. Once he gets more comfortable with his ball handling and adjusts to the length in the NBA, I think he'll convert more at the basket. That'll also create more drive and dish chances for him as well.
And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun. Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
19 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And he banks in the layup. Smart's got 6.
Now, I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Moore. Rebound by Olynyk.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And it's Turner off the drive. He gets it up. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. Heat out front, leading by 3. Let's take a quick break. And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about their great fan support in Toronto. A lot of fans south of the border in the U.S. are surprised for the Celtics. Mickey's checked in for Johnson. Crowder comes in for Urebko. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Smart. And Bradley's subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. Mickey out there with Jared Sullinger. Then it's Evan Turner. Then there's Avery Bradley. And it's Crowder in at the 3, the small forward. That's the Boston 5. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
And stretching back to the break, here's how the Celtics have performed. 12th in rebounding, 14th in free throw shooting. And they're in the top half of the league in getting steals as well. Not bad, but could be better.
Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Jared Sullinger. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Well, taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down. Greg started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
Celtics trail by 6. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pistons was a big factor. He had 6 points, and he also was creating for others by getting the ball in a position to score it. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
Good job as always, Doris. Thank you, guys. What was your take on his performance?
Kevin, I really felt like he left it all out on the floor. I'll say this. It was a great, hard-charging effort.
Guys, when he's on, nobody's more fun to watch. And he was definitely on in that game.
Here's Bradley. The shot will not go. And Miami the other way now. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
And I don't care how much you grind it out defensively. When you shoot it that poorly, you're going to struggle to win games.
Well, it's not only going to be a struggle, it's going to be virtually impossible if you shoot as poorly as they did.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Here's Johnson. Miami no good on that time either.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Right side Bradley puts one up from 19, and he hits the jumper for 2. Bradley's got his second basket. The Heat leading by 4. Moore up top, Turner covering, and Moore kicks to Dang. Stoudemire setting the pick for Dang. Fires the 3, and he gets the bucket. Dang's got 9.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves. After a tough start, they're back on track.
Turner dishes to Crowder. There's a screen. Here's Olynyk. The rebound by Johnson.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
The Heat have shot 8 of 10 from the line. That's an even 80% free throw shooting here. Free throw good, Stoudemire.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free. And they've done exactly that, made them pay.
And both free throws good for Stoudemire. There's 18 seconds left in the first half of the game. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Thomas goes in. Here's Olynyk. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Heat lead by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, give us your perspective on that first half.
I like the way we started the game. You know, sometime on the road we start off slow, so I thought we got to the fight early. And it's our 2 good teams, so, you know, it's the way it should be.
Dwayne, thank you. Always fun to watch. Guys, over to you.
Thanks, Doris. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter started. Second half just about to get going here.
Luol Deng has been playing well. He has 9 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Celtics trail by 7. Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. And it's Deng in at the 3 spot. Thomas kicks to Sullinger. Miami has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4.
And really a fantastic season for Sullinger last year. Really made some leaps forward, but missed a lot of time still due to injury.
I mean, look, no one guarding you. It's better to not pull up and try the lead.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Sullinger did continue to improve last year, Clark, but you can't ignore that he had to miss time once again.
Yeah, and you hope that he'll be able to stay healthy for a full year at some point. When he's on the floor, he's a hard matchup for just about every team in the league.
Moore against Thomas. Shot clock at 6. To the paint. Johnson with the defensive effort.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. Bradley's checked in for Smart.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
Crowder kicks to Thomas. Bradley against Richardson. The trade. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Bradley. Talking about Joe Johnson, I'm not going to lie. Last year wasn't one of his best statistically, Clark. His shooting accuracy was on the low end. His turnover numbers were high. It wasn't very pretty.
But for Joe, Kevin, I don't think it was about the numbers last year. It was about wanting to compete and to win. And he's developed a champion's will over the years. And I would like to see him finally achieve his goal of maybe winning the championship. I think he deserves it. He's been consistent. He's been solid. And now you see some maturation with him as well.
Thomas with the ball, out defended by Freak. Bradley against Richardson. Olynyk sets a screen for Bradley. The feed to Olynyk. And again, Boston with the triple.
Back-to-back threes for him. The defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that three, or you'll give up points in a hurry.
Moore passes to Johnson. 29 seconds left in the third. Fires it up. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
You have to be disciplined on defense, Kevin. Biting on every pump fake isn't going to get it done.
Moore against Thomas. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. It's the Heat up 1. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. The Heat with the lead. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Miami's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. And he gets the bucket. And 12 points now in the game for Hassan Whiteside. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Thomas goes in. Rockets with some nice D.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
To the paint, here's Whiteside. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Miami.
They made more foul shots, and that was the difference.
And that was a huge advantage. The free throw game, always a significant barometer in terms of who wins and loses.
And the strong effort here will convert into what will be their 50th win on the season.
And bragging rights between these teams were on the line today, and they put in some very good work to earn them.
Sure did. I mean, this means they'll come out on top in the season series, 2 games to 1 now. Got to be happy about that.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Dragic. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Thomas. Shoots the 3. Again, Thomas missing.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Whiteside inside. Olynyk is covering, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
At the line for the Celtics, Hassan Whiteside, taking 2 shots.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second. Here's Rozier. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Guys, I'm here with Goran Dragic. And Goran, was the team's defensive approach tonight key to the win?
Yeah, we know if we want to win that game, we have to be solid in defense. You know, they're a fast-running team. They're gonna shoot three-point line, and we just have to be solid in defense. And we did that, and in the end, we won that game. So
you were solid and tough. Great job tonight, guys. Back to you,
Doris. Thank you as always. And that about does it for the final game of the NBA regular season. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Goran Dragic. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them throughout this one.
He was in a groove tonight, Ernie, Kenny. He's getting in that playoff mode already. Perfect timing with the postseason approaching. He had it all going on the whole game.
It was a very physical performance he turned in tonight. Just look at the number of times he got to the free throw line. Over and over again, he drove hard to the basket. And when he got to the basket,
and that'll do it for our coverage of this year's final.